Garcia Nevada, and welcome to another video. As you can probably see from the title of this video, we are doing an exclusive episode, and furthering the hidden stories of Hit the Target attacks. But we are doing Mirror World, which is a very recent Lovely World upload. If you haven't watched it, I'll leave a link to the video in the description. It's also in my playlist for Hit the Target attacks. And the other hidden stories, which are above this in this thing, you can find a video to that too, and playlist to stories and all that. Yeah. I had a lot of fun doing this one. And it's basically 3 parts, so it means it gets its own special video. And yeah, there are other Hit the Target stories, so they might have to wait until a few Hit the Target videos after, because it just depends on how long they are. And these are 3 parts. First one is the longest. The last one is the shortest. So yeah. Yeah. First one is about 7 pages long. So yeah, it's gonna be a long one. I think you guys will enjoy it. And if you guys don't know what is going on, watch the actual video from Stampy before actually reading this, because there's a lot, and it'll help you understand what's going on a lot better. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Watch the video, come back, and then let's get started. Mirror World, Part 1, Mirror Stampy. Before the events of the episode Mirror World, there was another world that mirrored that of Stampy's Lovely World. However, it had several differences, such as things being in the opposite places than they should be, and people not being who they seemed. In this mirrored world lived a ginger tabby cat named Stampy, the mirror image of Stampy Cat we know, Whatever. We'll call him Mirror Stampy for the ease of the story. Mirror Stampy had a lot of fun in his world with his friends, Gillian, Capybara, Peggy Reindeer, and Dizzy Narwhal. They built new buildings and played minigames. It was just like what occurred in the other Lovely World, except for the left guard's part, since it was a potato garden instead, and uncoincidentally. Hashtag potato garden. But on one particular day, while Mirror Stampy was going to his doghouse to check on his dogs, first day in the day, he noticed a strange portal appearing out of nowhere by the tree that was in front of his house. He had never seen anything like it before, and he was pretty sure that one of his friends hadn't built it. As he went over to get a closer look, the door to the strange portal thing opened, and a tall man stepped out, wearing red and gold robes. He had a golden crown on top of his jet black greasy hair and beady black eyes. Mirror Stampy was surprised to see him there, but the man wasn't threatening him. He was just as surprised to see him. The moment didn't take long before the man's surprise was turned to curiosity as he cleared his throat. Clearly I've done this before. I have. Well, hello there. The man said with intrigue. It's nice to finally meet you, Stampy. How do you know my name? Who are you? Mirror Stampy asked, confused as to what the man was doing here and why he'd come. But he wouldn't push aside a guest when one arrived. After all, judging a book by its cover without reason was never a good idea on his mind. The man said softly, as if careful of what he would say next. I came from a world like yours, but different. You see, it is a mirror world of your own world, with similar things. However, I need your help with something. And what is that exactly? Mirror Stampy demanded, purely curious as to what the man would say. Any hint of similar worlds did seem awfully intriguing. This strange man had gone through a portal, which made his case a bit more believable. Is there anything I need you to do? But I want to make sure you're willing to do it, the man said with certainty. Just tell me what you need me to do, Mirror Stimpy said. I'm always happy to help anyone who needs it. That's nice to hear, the man replied with a nod. Well, Stampy, there's someone in my world that looks a lot like you. His name matches your own, even. All I want you to do is simply switch places with him. Why would you want me to switch places with him? Mirror Stampy asked. He's very disagreeable, you see. He's selfish and overpowered, and with way too much power than he should. If we work together, we can finally be rid the world of this undeserving tyrant. And we can rule it together. You and the man said with a smile. And you are it? Mirror Stampy asked. I am hit the target, of course. The man said with a chuckle. Trust me, Stampy. You don't want to turn down an opportunity to help someone need. Do you? Of course, I want to help. Of course not. I want to help. I don't know. Mirror Stampy exclaimed. Of course I want to help. There we go. If it's just pretending to be this mirror version of myself when I'm already basically him, it shouldn't be that hard, right? Exactly. And his helpers won't even know the difference. So, you don't have to worry about abandoning your friends. It's Target said with his rod. Alright then, what do we do? Mirror Stampy asked. Already set in stone. That's the kind of companies I'd like to hear, Stampy. The Target said with a laugh. Now, follow me through this portal and leave the rest to me. Yes, sir, Mirror Stampy replied, as he followed the man through the portal and found himself in a dark place, looking around in both awe and curiosity. Where was he? Where had this man taken him? Suddenly, he could hear a voice coming from a certain direction, and he turned to see another ginger cat walking into the dark place through a different portal. That had to be the other Stampy that the Hit the Target guy had been talking about. Mirror Stampy watched as Hit the Target conversed with this mirror version of himself. He sounded quite surprised and almost scared. But before he could focus on that, he disappeared from the dark place and stepped out of the portal on the other side to find himself in a strange world. It was still a lovely world, he knew, but it was inverted. It looked very different. Standing before him was a beaver, a reindeer, and an elephant. They weren't his helpers, but they did seem happy to see him. Something felt off to him. He didn't have any connection with these three. No doubt his target would want them out of the way. Mirror Stampy took a deep breath and spoke to these strange helpers that were meant to be his, but weren't. Did they notice that he wasn't his friend? Their friend? Could they even see a difference? What exactly did they see? He couldn't be sure, but he needed to be careful of what he said. Were we building something today? Right? We were building something today, right? Mirror Stampy asked, trying to sound like he was confused and lost. Maybe they would fall for it. He watched as they nodded, and he replied, Okay, I'll meet you right there. I need to do a few things first that I forgot to do earlier. No need to worry about me. He watched as they ran off in a certain direction. He didn't really care where they were going, since he wasn't really feeling up to building today anyway. Besides, he was starting to get a minor headache just seeing. Hello? Thank you. Thank you. Go away. Just seeing. Just seeing all the inverted weirdness he was looking at. This wasn't normal. This wasn't his world. It looked like it, but it just looked, well, he wasn't sure how he could describe it. Something just didn't seem right about any of this. Mirror Stampy went over to the doghouse to see that, sure enough, the dogs were inside. Well, there were dogs inside. Standing amongst them was Head the Target, who had appeared out of nowhere. He tends to do that a lot. And the tiger managed to gesture as the mirrored version of Stampy looked around. For some reason, the tiger was unable to speak. Was this because of what the man had said earlier in the dark place? The alternate Stampy certainly had gone quiet for a moment when the man had mentioned it, and as if he remembered something. But what could the two of them know? Then again, what did it matter? The alternate Stampy couldn't ruin this world anymore. It was theirs now! He wouldn't be able to take that away from them. He helped the tiger get all of the dogs out of the doghouse, and they were joined by what the mirrored cat assumed was working with its target. The sun was just going down as they grouped the dogs in front of the portal, getting ready to figure out what to do with them. You sure this will work? Mirrored Stampy asked before his voice suddenly cut out. It confused him until he realized with a sickening feeling that the alternate Stampy must have found a way through to get back to his world. But he didn't tell the others. Not that he could, anyway. But he didn't have to when the woman that worked with the target spotted the alternate version of himself coming out of his house. Don't shoot! The alternate version shouted. If you shoot me, my dogs come after you. Mirror Stampy stepped back, frightened and terrified as he watched the target aim a knocked bow at the alternate version of himself. Does this really have to come to this? What was he supposed to do? What was going on? Do you really want to do this, Stampy? The alternate Stampy asked him. Just look around you. Doesn't it look different? Taking someone else's dogs as your own, isn't right. Yet the target has been trying to steal my dogs for years. You don't want to be on his side. Help me take him out and join my side. Mirror Stampy looked around at his surroundings, knowing very well that things were off. But the person himself that stood in front of him was right. What he was doing was wrong. Those weren't his thoughts. He didn't have the right to separate them from their owner. Helping others was one thing, but knowing right from wrong was another. If this version of him was right, then if he helped hit the target, the man could eventually turn around and steal his dogs as well. He didn't want the man to use him, especially not when he should know himself better than that. This cat was a mirror image of himself. There had to be some things in common, so he did what he knew best. He turned on the target and his partner to try and stop them from doing any more harm than they already had. But before he could do much, he was quickly taken out and woke back in his bedroom, in his world, surprised and curious as to whether or not he had just had a bad dream, or if it had been real. No, it had been real. He had met a mirror version of himself, got tricked by that cat's enemy, and was taken out by the man he had thought he could trust. But what about the other Stampy? Was he okay? Was he able to stop those villains in his world? He hoped so. But the good thing was, he was back home, back where things were familiar, and he couldn't ask for much more than that. Perhaps he would never see the other Stampy he had met again. But he was good with that. So long as he had his friends, his dogs, and his world, where things were as they were supposed to be, and he wanted it no other way. Part 2. Gillian, Peggy, and Dizzy. Yes. They lived in a world where everything was in a mirror image of the lovely world, where right was left and left was right. Basic. It was their normal. They were used to it. And their friend, Mirror Stampy, did everything he could to make this place as lovely as it could be. But on one particular day, they were summoned by a familiar voice that they knew so well, only to find themselves facing a confused and unnerved Stampy Cat. He didn't seem quite himself, but they all assumed he was just having a bad day. After all, everyone had them, right? But as they followed the cat around, they were starting to feel a little unnerved. Stampy kept referring to other helpers, other friends, in his world. Wasn't he already in his own world? Was he being delusional? Was he okay? They weren't sure. Still, they kept following him, listening to him talking to himself, heading towards what he referred as the clock tower. He seemed kind of himself when the creeper had exploded inside the building, but quickly got more frantic and nervous, confused, and maybe even afraid, as if something was bothering him. Could they help him? What could they do? He kept explaining that he was from a mirror world, so to speak. It would make sense how that would work, but why would he be so scared about staying here? Their confusion and curiosity only grew as they arrived at the top of the tower. They watched in astonishment as the cat leaped off the top of the roof, plummeting to the path below in shock. They had heard his urgent voice, desperate to try anything to get home. Jumping off the tower, which was over 100 meters high? He had to be pretty desperate to do something as crazy as that. Clearly, something seemed off about their friend. They weren't even sure if they could recognize him. He had looked like Stampy, but he wasn't. He had sounded less confident and nervous about something. But if his plan had worked, he should have gone where he needed to be, and they were fine with that. But then, where was their Stampy? They climbed down the ladder from the tower and went back to the house where their friend resided, wondering and hoping that they would find their friend there. He had to be there, right? He wouldn't abandon them. They weren't sure. They were confused and unsettled by the information that they had gotten from the other Stampy. Was his name even Stampy? They couldn't even be sure of that either. Suddenly, as they neared the house, they could see Mirror Stampy walking out to meet them. This time, he did look to be the Stampy they knew. He was back to normal. Whatever had been sorted out. It was so good to see him back. Wow, today has been a crazy day, Mirror Stampy said with amazement. I hope you guys didn't mind me being gone for too long, but I'm back now. To stay. It's good to be home. The helpers all agreed. This was their home, and it wouldn't be the same without Stampy. This had been a weird day, but it was that. They'd probably go back to doing what they usually did soon anyway, and they couldn't wait to have some fun, even if it was confusing for some people to navigate. They were used to it. This was their home, a place that they belonged, when things made sense. Part 3. William, Polly, and Billy. The trio. They make up the Three Musketeers, you know. It was a beautiful day in the lovely world, where everything was bright and colorful. No inverse mirror worlds could be found here, except for a strange door that Stampy had seemingly disappeared from for a moment before returning not too soon after. It hadn't lasted very long, like a few seconds maybe. Stampy's helpers weren't too concerned at first about their friend, knowing that he did tend to be quite forgetful of them. Sure. They would no doubt meet him at the building site soon. But when they got there and waited, there was no sign of him to be seen. They waited an hour, then 2, then however long it was before the sun finally went down. He hadn't forgotten that they were building today, right? Should they start without him? No, it would be rude to start without him. He had been the one who had designed the build after all. They could wait for a little bit longer. But what if something had come up? Or something happened to him? Stampy had seemed slightly off for some reason, as if he wasn't completely there. But they couldn't be so sure, because it could have been just a strange door. He might have gone through it too fast, or got a little lightheaded, or faded out a bit. Couldn't be a big deal, right? Polly decided to go check it out, with the others saying they wouldn't be too far behind. Sure enough, as Polly arrived back at the place where they had last seen their friend, she found Stampy by the strange door, surrounded by his dogs. There you are, Polly, the cat replied in relief. William came from behind her, and he greeted the beaver as well, before deciding to break down the strange door, or portal as the cat described it. It had been something concocted by the target, to transport Stampy to a mirrored version of his own world, and trade places with an alternate Stampy, or mirror Stampy. They couldn't believe they hadn't noticed it, but the cat didn't hold it against him. He was just glad that it was all over, and so were they. But this time, if it ever happened again, they would be more careful. And they would be. They all knew the target would come back eventually. He always did. But they would be ready for him. Someday, they would stop him once and for all. But until then, they at least had each other. They could worry about what they were going to be building later. They were all safe. The world was safe, and it was good to have their friend back. This was their home, just as it was for Stampy. And it was good to live there. Colorful, bright, and cheerful. Just as it was always meant to be. I believe that is the end of that episode. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And yeah, it was a very interesting video. And thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, comment down below any theories you might have for future The Target videos, or if you've noticed anything in any current Lovely World videos that may or may not have something to do with The Target. Because they happen. And this one was one of them. Yeah. So most people probably would have forgotten. That's why we probably did the premiere, so some people could have a chance to rewatch videos and catch up. It's like, okay, this is what happened. This is suspicious. So yeah, it's definitely something. I hope you guys enjoyed the video anyway, even with me rambling about potential theories and stuff. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.